Sports history is defined by moments no one saw coming. The Miracle on Ice in 1980. Buster Douglas shocking the world by knocking out Mike Tyson in 1990. And how about great moments in college football? App State stunning number 5 Michigan. And just last season, NIU walking into South Bend and knocking off Notre Dame. So here we are in Toledo for MAC football on ESPN Plus, where the Rockets are the heavy favorites, but Morgan State believes it's not mission impossible. Greetings, good afternoon. Jim Barber and the all-world receiver Randy Buffington to watch today's game and bring it to you live and in person on ESPN Plus. Well, the Tyson and Douglas comparison came from Anton Sewell, defensive coordinator from Morgan State. So the question is, do the Bears have a chance today?
They absolutely do. You said it right, Jim. Tom Cruise is not in the building today. Hollywood is expensive, and neither of these teams had it in the budget. But make no mistake, Morgan State will do their own stunts, defensively and otherwise, doing everything they can to punch Toledo square in the mouth.
Well said. We'll talk about key players right now. Begin with Jason Collins of Morgan State. He's got to have a huge game today for them to have a chance.
Absolutely. He will for sure. This guy, let's keep this boxing theme rolling. This guy is a hard runner. He is very physical out of the gate. In other words, he has a chin, and he can take a hit and keep on moving forward. Let's see how his chin holds up against Toledo today.
He's got a good comparison to the other side as we match up running backs against running backs today, and a great one right now for Toledo.
Yes, you have a heavyweight on our hands here in Chip Trainum. This is a guy with a lot of experience, bouncing around to a few different Power 4 schools, and he expects to put on a show today. 3 touchdowns last week. Expect him to run it up in order for the Rockets to win this game.
Our afternoon game brings us 75 degrees, mostly cloudy, very little chance of rain, as we about get ready to flip the calendar to the fall. Damon Wilson heads up the Bears on the left side, his 4th season, and Jason Candle became the all-time winningest coach with the Rockets in his 10th year, and he's never had a losing season. Bears win the toss, Bears defer. Starting to see more in the NFL teams taking the ball first, but college football, they prefer to give it up. Kickoff coming from the 35-yard line. A little pooch kick. And off the fair catch, football starts at the 25. I almost thought we were looking at an onside there, Randy.
Be quite the surprise to start this game off.
It would be indeed. So the Rockets off an impressive win last week at home, go to work on offense. Tucker Gleason looks healthy. Suffered what appeared to be a sprained knee in a recent game, did not play most of the game. Wasn't really a game time decision as he worked out during the week with the team, and now he seems to be close to 100%. Pass completions near 60%. They'll operate from the gun. Going to see a lot of Chip Trainum in this game, certainly. And the injury we speak of gave some cause for concern when it happened, because this is how he got rolled up.
Yeah, this happened here late in the second quarter of that game. He went down with a leg injury, but a good sign for the Rockets that he's out there right now.
And after a missed tackle, Gleason throws for a first down. Easy toss and catch, and so it's a first down.
Great start here, and we'll hear his name a lot. This is Junior Vanderrost III. Moves in space, is only 5'8", but he plays big.
And they say maybe a future pro, possibly. First down from the Rockets' 42. Play action for Gleason. Plenty of time to throw. It's got a man. Inside the 20-yard line. Down to the 15, another easy catch, this time for Javon Brown. He's a freshman out of Williston, Florida.
Great start here by Tucker Gleason. This was just great route running, confusing the secondary back there for a nice grab on that post for Javon Brown.
Good for 46 yards. Here comes Trainum, who has bounced around literally and figuratively with a number of colleges, including the Ohio State University. But when he came to Toledo, likely his final stop, Jason Candle said, most humble kid, meshes very nicely.
Yeah, he said he broke every single stereotype you can think of big name transfers coming down to play at his level. And it's been a great addition to this Rockets team.
Now second down in the opening minutes of the first quarter. Back to Trinum, and he gets swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and long for the Rockets. Again, the Bears hold up today, FCS versus FBS, and Damon Wilson, their head coach, said the biggest problem is we don't have the speed necessarily that FBS teams have.
Yeah, and to combat that, you just have to be sound in your assignments. You have to be in position early on.
Let's see if the Bears can make a stop on 3rd and 8. Gleason to the end zone. And they will make that stop.
Wow.
Pass deflected and broken up at the last minute. So Jaden Carter back defending, and that means the Rockets have to settle for 3.
Ball just a bit too tall here for Javon. Would have been a great grab here. Watching the sidelines there, he's worried about getting his feet in bounds, but you still have to catch the ball.
So a shot at 3 inside the 20-yard line, actually good for 28 yards away. And the Rockets are on the board. 3-0 Toledo, moments in, but Morgan State holds itself well. Dylan Cunningh's field goal puts Toledo on the board first, leading 3-0, 2.5 minutes into our game today from the Glass Bowl. And not to run the bowling theme into the ground, or the boxing theme into the ground, but we award 10 here to Toledo on scoring points, but that was a close round, I think.
Early 10s on both sides here. This is a good defensive stand here from Morgan State's part. Lots of great passes downfield. We saw it at Tucker Gleason, so a lot to be excited about early. But only got 3 points on the board, so kudos to Morgan State.
Malik Leatherberry is the deep man for the Bears at the 5-yard line. And Robert Hammond III will do the honors to kick off for Toledo. Dressed in the gold shirts and the blue jerseys. This one heads in the end zone, so you get a chance to meet the offense for the Morgan State Bears out of the MEAC Conference and the pride of Baltimore, Maryland.
Absolutely. A lot of HBCU pride here with this group. A legacy that they're still trying to carry on.
Kobe Muasaw is the starting quarterback. He wears 16. They're in the white uniforms today. Making the trip in from the East Coast. And they'll operate from their own 25-yard line. Muasaw's number, over 60% pass completions. Well, the major question is, can this front line push Toledo back? Not only is speed a concern for an FCS team, but so is size.
Absolutely, yeah. Toledo has their number when it comes to the eye test. Not a lot of size up front for Morgan State, but they'll rely on different schemes. We just saw motion out of the first play of the game. They'll try to get their eyes in other positions to throw them off defensively.
Yvonne Sherman credited with the tackle there. It is 2nd down and 8. And how about this start? Not only limiting the Rockets to a field goal, but now picking up a 1st down run. Jason Collins, whom we highlighted in the beginning, he's a home run hitter for this team and really good in pass protection if they need him today, and they will.
Absolutely. This guy here, he is good for a haymaker. If they're going to pack a punch, it's going to come from Jason Collins Jr., a very hard runner who can really bounce off arm tackles.
Sherman with his 2nd tackle already in the game, with the 1st down now at the 35-yard line. Morgan State trying to shock the college football world today.
Why not?
They'll continue on the ground. And for the record, FCS teams have beaten FBS schools 90 times in the history of matchups dating back to 1976. So it is not impossible. Damon Wilson and his squad recognize the fact that don't have to play a perfect game, but pretty close to it wouldn't hurt.
Absolutely. Not mission impossible, maybe mission improbable, but certainly not possible.
I like the Tom Cruise reference, though, and I hope you don't have to pay any royalties for that.
Put it on my tab.
Yeah. 2nd down, no gain on the play from a 35-yard line once again. Here's Kobe to throw, got a man wide open. 1st down pickup now inside the 45-yard line. Kobe with a bullet. I'll tell you what, he's got a good-looking arm out there.
He really does. And this was just a great ball. Nobody covered the tight end here. Right down the seam. Great job by Smith.
Good for 21 yards to Joshua Smith out of Tampa, Florida. Both these schools like to recruit out of the Florida area, and who doesn't really when it comes to great athletes. 1st down, now at the Rockets' 44. Bears, importantly, are moving not only down the field, but using up some clock. And on this 1st down carry, Collins carries for 5.
This is exactly the momentum that Morgan State wanted out of the gate. 2 things working in their favor. They're running the ball well and opening up some passing lanes.
As a result, ball now inside the 40-yard line. Rockets will start conference play next week. Ditto for the MEAC's Morgan State Bears. This play's going nowhere.
Not one bit.
Was that Martez Pointer up there, number 8?
That is Luce Julian, number 9.
Correct.
Making that stop there.
And a loss on the play of a couple. It'll be 3rd and 7. They'll send 2 receivers now to the near side of the field, 1 to the left. And once again out of the gun is quarterback Kobe Muasaw. Muasaw sees a man go in motion, now behind him. And off the snap and run it, nothing there for Jason Collins. You know, Sherman has been pretty active just on the 1st series. That's his 3rd tackle already.
Big time. A Pearland High School graduate, Kavion Sherman, saw this coming a mile away, knocked his mouthpiece loose. You guys saw that back there, but a great start from the Rockets.
Got a great halftime feature coming up on the punter from Morgan State, Shane Messenger. Tell you about him as we go along. He's going to punt right now, though, to Bryson Hammer, who's back inside his own 10, assuming there is no fake. And before that happens, the play is blown up. Should tell you about our officiating crew today. Representing the Mid-American Conference, Billy Williams is a referee. Roger Day, the umpire. Mark Shield, the headline judge. Brett Carpenter, line judge. Field judges Kendall Smith. Side judge Kenneth Cloud. Back judge Damon Wilcox. Anthony Romano, center judge, the replay official Harold Beatty, and communicator Gary Bram. And in talking to replay official Betty, asked him about Gary Patterson quitting after a game as an ACC official. Suddenly, he said he knew him. He said there may be more to it than we know. As Hammer returns up to the 25, nice return, and a penalty flag on the play. But he was surprised that the official would leave right after the game. Find out what happened here on the penalty before we head to break.
During the return, illegal block in the back, 24 of the return team. 10-yard spot of the first down.
Halfway through the first quarter, not bad for Morgan State. Randy, get ready to score this one. I might score in favor of the Bears here in this heavyweight fight. In this matchup between the Rockets, who are heavily favored, against Morgan State, we've already graded the first round. How about round number 2? Well, we're both in agreement on this one. And honestly, I didn't cheat off your scorecard here. We both gave the Bears 10. So they're hanging tough right now.
Yeah, they are. Good start for Morgan State. And one thing I observed was Kobe Miyasa looks very comfortable back there. He wasn't rattled at all. They weren't able to get the money down that they wanted, but a very strong start.
Absolutely. And because of the penalty on the Rockets, right before we get to break, Damon Wilson's defense now can dial up maybe a blitz, as Toledo will start deep in its own territory. We mentioned 4th season, Bowie State head coach for a dozen years, also at Prairie View A&M as a running backs coach. Tucker Gleason at the controls on first down. Bears Bears doing a lot of gang tackling here early in the game, being able to find where the ball is and keeping their eyes on Trainum. Woodson Brooks makes the tackle, number 10. It'll be second down.
Brooks is that duo at linebacker for the Bears. He's a classic thumper, as the coaches called him. He is not afraid to put his head in there and knock some Bills loose.
Gleason has 4 receivers to choose from here on second down. And he will throw off play action. He's got plenty of time. And a rocket for the first down.
And that's Trayvon Rudolph right there. A great curl route. Tucker Gleason went through his progression. Scanned on the left-hand side of the field, went back to the curl. That's where Rudolph was. And was able to get the first down.
Out of Crete, Illinois. Rudolph, good kickoff returner as well. Pick up a 16 on the play off the missed tackle. Another first down. The flag may bring it back, though, at the 32-yard line. That typically is a hold or a block in the back. But I promised our replay officials I would not second guess them if it went upstairs. This will be down on the field, and Billy Williams.
Offense, number 9. 10-yard hold from the spot of foul.
So after Trayvon Rudolph made the catch for a first down, now he's guilty of a hold. And there it is right there.
Yeah, just a bit too much contact there.
Trying to take out the hero, Hiroshi Carr, number 23. Jason Candle got the Gatorade bath last week, becoming the winningest coach. Hope to show that to you. He looked like he was shocked for about a half a minute. I know it's ice cold.
That cold water would do it to you every time.
First and 16. Little flare pass to the outside. Not much doing there, and the Bears right now, 5-touchdown underdog, are trailing almost 9 minutes in the first quarter, 3-0. Should we read anything into it at this point?
Listen, Morgan State said that they were showing up to fight. We mentioned the Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson comparison early on, and they want to rattle some scorecards.
Yes.
Absolutely.
No gain on the play, second and 15. Back to Trainum. Nope, check that. It was Trainum, and he is stopped for no gain. So it's third and long. That's the second time the Bears have put the Rockets in a third and predictable as opposed to a third and manageable.
Yeah, and Trainum had a tough one there. He bumped right into the backside of Jacob Peterson, and that's just some hard-nosed hitting. Eric Hunter, E40 is what they called him, squared up with Peterson, knocking him back and creating a tackle for loss there for his team.
Great nickname, by the way, for 40. Missed most of 2024 due to injury. Must get the football up to the 38 as we approach 5.5 minutes of the opening quarter. Tucker Gleason, rebounding from an injury, rolling out of the pocket. Looking downfield, throwing for the first down. Does he have it?
I think he's just shy.
Yep, by about a yard or maybe 2. So 4th and 2. You know, everybody in the stadium wants him to go for it.
Yeah, here's some.
But that's not going to happen.
Some boos coming from the stands right now. They want to. And Jason Candle's getting after it at his guys over here.
Can't be happy with what he's seen so far, although the Bears defensively have held their own. It's the penalties that usually anger a coach. Good high end over end kick. Fair catch, 10-yard line. 4:43 for the opening quarter. Surprise, surprise. From the MEAC, Bears trailing just the FBS opponent 3-0.
And we're back here. Morgan State has been very comfortable early on thanks to their quarterback, Kobe. And look at this hit. My man lays the wood out there. He's not just going in the pocket while delivering blows. Taking off a big runs. He's a dual threat quarterback. Last week, 17 for 28. A touchdown and a pick. But you can guarantee that if he's running the ball, there's going to be a thud coming behind it.
He was in a 4-quarterback competition coming into this season. After the punt from Emilio Duran of 53 yards, Morgan State will operate from its own 10 and off a 5-yard carry up to the 15. So John Griffith has entered for Kobe for the moment. 6'2", 210 junior. Getting his moment in the sun right now. Out of Maryland. 3-0 football game. Almost 11 minutes into the first quarter. And if you saw Jason Candle on the sidelines as he went to break, pretty angry.
He was not a happy camper. Getting after his offense there. We saw some costly penalties. A first down taken away. That is never a good sign.
His defense now faces a 3rd and 3. Vince Karras is the defensive coach. Troy Lewis, defensive lineman. Coach Russ Watson, the safety. And Perry Eliano, the cornerbacks coach. Back to Kobe at the quarterback spot, and he can run. We saw that earlier. Instead, he hands off. And they appear to be about a yard short.
Yeah, and that hurts there. We talked about his running ability just a second ago, and he had a wide open lane if he would have kept that ball. Trusted Jason Collins Jr. on there on that one, and just a yard short.
I would have guessed Muasaw keeping the ball in that one.
Oh, yeah, big time. He won't let it happen again.
Second punt of the game for Shane Messenger. The return coming from the 40. Look at the blocking up front. And nearly a chance to break this one for Bryson Hammer. Makes a solid return of 16 yards. So the Rockets have great field position with 2:47 to go, and it's worth a second look.
Bryson Hammer is shifty out here. Great vision. Almost got away. If it wasn't for those meddling Bears.
Tucker Gleason has hit on his 4 last passes in a row. Now his team operates in plus territory from the 41 of the Bears. Obviously, best field position of the game. Trying to establish the run. And a credit to the Bears right now, they've been up defensively as Hudson Miller. Now check that. That would be Eric Hunter, E40 with a tackle.
E40 will be all over the place for the Bears today. He's been described as coaches as the leader of this team, vocal leader, and through his just through his play.
And through last year, Randy, 196 total tackles. And behind the line of scrimmage, another stop for Morgan State.
Wow. That ball, that carry went nowhere, and that was to Kenji Christian. Usually a patient runner for this team. Coach described him as a slasher. Nowhere to go on that.
Rockets, Randy, having some difficulty running the football so far, which might be a surprise.
Big time surprise.
Got to pick up 12 to keep the drive going. Line to gain is the 31-yard line as we dip down to 90 seconds in the first quarter rather. Gleason with time, steps up, throws, incomplete.
Oh, man.
Another defensive stand.
That's
by Antone's defense. So the man who coined the Douglas versus Tyson matchup has got to be pleased with the punches that have been thrown so far.
You got to be. Everybody has a plan so they get punched in the face.
Duran to kick again. Last time out, a beauty, 53 yards. What's the rule of thumb for somebody to field a punt? Used to be inside the 20, you let it go, but you don't see that very often anymore. And the coverage right now, the Rockets couldn't be any better. Down to the 2-yard line. That's Avery Smith. Right place, right time. With 81 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Well done by the special teams of the Toledo Rockets. So Kobe back to work. Let's see if we see him carry the football on occasion here as the official stick. There was the 3-yard line.
They've got a long way to go.
Amen. 3-0 in favor of the Rockets. And just in case you're tuning in for the first time today, and we welcome you aboard. And Kobe will operate from the end zone. Got to be careful here not to get a holding penalty, which could result in a safety. They'll try to run out of danger, and that's good for a couple of yards. Right now, you just want to establish some type of breathing room, as they say, some field position.
Absolutely. You never want to be bunched up near that goal line. Jason Collins giving them some wiggle room there.
So this is a 12-round fight. It'll be our 3rd round we'll be scoring at the commercial break.
And it's a close one.
Yeah, it is a close one. It's evened up right now. And it should be on the board. It's just 3-0. 2nd and 8. Muasau gets rid of it quickly, completes the pass, but there's nothing available.
You talk about wiggle room in these sorts of situations, and you got nowhere to go thanks to Braden Oz.
They say someday it's going to be a pro.
Lots of great secondary to come out of Toledo. Lots of great ball players, period, to come out of Toledo. 11 guys have been drafted since Jason Kendall has taken the helm. Something's in the water over here.
Yeah, Emmanuel McNeil Warren is the one we'll keep an eye on in that secondary for the Toledo Rockets. He's a sure pro, they say, as the quarter almost came to it. Now Muasau gets rid of it the last moment, and it's a good thing he did because he was very close to being tackled in the end zone. But good first quarter, Randy, for the Bears.
It absolutely was. Lots to love on, especially from Morgan State right now.
All right, stay with us because we'll have that all-important scorecard coming up that I know you can't wait to see. our David versus Goliath matchup. Again, we're scoring by rounds here. Score that matters. Toledo 3-0 as we enter the second quarter. We both gave round 3 to Morgan. So Morgan State is even right now in the fight card with Toledo 29 points.
And it makes sense. I mean, it's a close game as we speak, just 3-0. And Morgan State did a good job just now, just getting this ball, keeping this ball out of the end zone for a safety.
Yeah, and Shane Messenger's got a boom one here. They're deep in their own end zone. And before that play develops, penalty flags are thrown. Headline judge Mark Shield came in with the first penalty. Well, you can't go back any further, can you?
We're talking inches at this point.
Yeah. Offense was offsides. So the Rockets can move up a little closer, which means they're going to have outstanding field position. Rice and Hammer in position to return. Here's Messenger's kick. It's a good one. Sending Hammer back into his own territory from the 44. Gets a block.
Oh boy.
Switches field, and here goes Hammer. 30, 20, and inside the 15-yard line. Bryson Hammer, a terrific return off the punt from Shane Messenger. 50 yards of a 39-yard kick.
And this looks good all the way. We saw Hammer almost break a few of these. On that last one, he felt really good about it. And this is just great vision and knowing exactly where he wants to go. Lots of missed tackles from Morgan State's side. Great return from Hammer.
Credit the Rockets defense too for holding serve and putting the Bears deep in their own territory and forcing the punt from the end zone. Now Toledo's already in the red zone to start this possession. How often does that happen off a punt return?
The power of special teams.
Amen to that. Tucker Gleason again running the offense. He'll send a man in motion. Gleason out to the side, and there's nothing available. Train him with the catch. Well, Chip can run the football. We know that. He's a power back, but he also can catch and go.
He can
see
do
any
it
future
all.
in him from the pros?
Yes, absolutely. And Morgan State thought the same thing. He said this guy's been around the block a little bit, and you don't get that many opportunities unless you can play ball well. This is a guy who played at Ohio State at linebacker.
Man wide open at the 5-yard line for the touchdown. J.R. Vandeross just kind of walked that one in. And the Rockets have the first TD of the game on a 12-yard scoring play from Tucker Gleason.
It doesn't get easier than that. Junior Vandeross, the third, on an easy screen pass. Waltzing into the end zone here. Exactly how you draw it up.
Hey, you like this formation on an extra point.
That's something. Never seen anything like it.
They can still go back in an extra point position, or they can go for 2, as Oklahoma did earlier today. And it will be 2 for the Rockets. You know, in a game like this, why not?
A little bit of trickery never hurt nobody.
Connor Jones out of Tip City, Ohio with a score. So, it's 8 for the Rockets and 3 now for the Bears. Should mention that Connor's actually from Hilliard, Ohio. And a 2-point conversion. Nicely designed play. So, Randy, I can add, it's 11-0 Rockets, not 8-3. Although the Bears certainly would appreciate a field goal on their behalf. The American Conference is heavily involved in football this week and next week as well. And on ESPN next week, to Miami of Ohio, Vegas will come in. Central Michigan, which took a whipping today from Michigan, will host Wagner. And Ohio is at the shoe tonight to face the Ohio State Buckeyes. Western Michigan will face these same Rockets. Troy will play Buffalo, came from behind to beat Kent State in the waning moments today. And then Ragin' Cajuns, I've been there to see some football. Play Eastern Michigan at the Factory, and Akron will host Duquesne. Heavy dose of college football as we get into the early part of this season in the middle of September. Robert Hammond will kick off with the Rockets now leading by a couple of scores. 11-0, and this is returnable from the 5. Offense will start from the Bears' 22-yard line. Well, we played almost 16 minutes of football. How would you assess what we have been able to diagnose so far?
Yeah, early on for the Toledo Rockets, they couldn't get much going. Got a field goal early on, but had some slip-ups, some drop balls, some penalties. And Jason Candle told his team about it. And they made up for lost time here on this last play, getting in the red zone early on thanks to their special teams unit, setting themselves up for success. But we have to see how Morgan State responds here now.
1st and 10, pass out to the flat. Going to be a loss of a couple of yards, maybe even close to 5 on the toss to Jason Collins. He got gobbled up in a hurry.
That ball went nowhere fast. Down to Kobe. To Collins.
And Nasir Bowers with that tackle, who had an interception a couple of weeks ago against Kentucky. 2nd and 15 after the loss of 5. 11-0 in favor of the Rockets. Trying to improve their season by a win. Kobe had time, now flushed out. He can run if he needs to, and instead throws.
Wow.
And past the original line of scrimmage, ball loose. Rockets say they've got it. We'll wait for confirmation. They do have it.
Toledo Rockets all over that one.
Travion Ford, junior defensive end out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Kobe Miyasu throwing that ball behind him. Caught it, but
Now check that. That could be Carlos Hazelwood, 98, with the tackle as opposed to 99.
and that's 3. Andre Fuller, who missed all of last season punching that ball out. He's a senior. Making up for lost time and making his presence felt.
So the Rockets, Randy, who started the last possession at the 12 of the Bears, now start at the 20. Talk about plus territory. Chance to punch in another score, a little end around action. And this one's going to be good for 6 yards.
And he wishes it was more. He almost tripped himself up there. The turf monster almost got him.
Gain on the play brings us to a 2nd now and 5 as Terrell Crosby, a wide receiver, on the carry. Tucker Gleason appears to be healthy from the injury last week. Back to Trainum, breaks 1 tackle. Looks like he's got enough for the 1st down to the 10-yard line. Chip Trainum's quite a story. Several different colleges before deciding on the Rockets. And what an addition Toledo gets with this MAC season, where they are predicted to win the conference.
They are really high on Chip Trainum. A lot of good things to say about this guy, and he performs.
And it'll be 1st and goal after the carry by Trainum. Gleason fakes, little flare. Good down to the 3-yard line for J.R. Vanderross, who caught the touchdown pass moments ago. Rockets will go in a hurry. Now from the 4. Back to Trainum, and he is stopped before he can get to the goal line. In fact, he's stopped a couple of yards short. E40 with yet another tackle. We talked about Trainum and where he has been, and he has been just about everywhere. All heavyweights, though: Arizona State, Ohio State, Kentucky, and now the Rockets.
Lots of good production early on there at Arizona State. He wanted to go back home. He's an Ohio kid. Went to Ohio State, where he played linebacker for a bit before transferring back and going back to his old position.
It's pretty hard to tackle the linebacker, though, isn't it? Or anybody that's built like a linebacker.
You better believe it. He spent some time in Kentucky, had an injury there, but now he's back at Toledo and making the most of his time here.
I think Jason Candle was telling us earlier in the week he was no horror story coming in.
Yeah, that's always a great thing. You hear stories sometimes about transfers having big heads, but not Chip. He came in and was one with the group, and that's the sort of leadership you want in your locker room. He's a guy that they look to as a leader for this team. He's a captain, so that just shows the sort of impact that he's making just 1 year in.
So let's see what the OC/head coach, Jason Candle, the offensive coordinator, and the boss calls for on 3rd and 2. Lisa now 9 for 11 for 114 and a touchdown and 5 different receivers. He'll line up behind center. And Anthony Boswell, the freshman. Back to Chip to the end zone. Touchdown!
There we have it. Chip Trainum bullying his way through. For that touchdown, we saw a pulling guard here. Number 72 setting that thing up really well. And that's Ethan Spaeth, who's a captain, a vocal leader on this offensive line for the Rockets. And that's 6 points going on 7 for the Rockets.
Snap here by James Rowe to Emilio Duran, and Cunanan with the extra point. 7 more for the Rockets. Once a 3-0 game after Trainum's touchdown, it's now an 18-point Toledo lead. Well, as we continue to score this game boxing style, the matchup against the underdog, Douglas versus the favorite, Tyson, all in agreement on the 4th round, belonging to the Rockets, who are looking for the knockout punch now, Randy, leading by 18.
They absolutely are, and a lot of great things due to special teams in the Rockets' favor. We had a possession where they started off in the red zone. We had a fumble just now. The Rockets feeling good about their performance. Morgan State's head coach, Damon Wilson, not so much.
And Damon's got Juju Leatherby deep. He wears number 12. He's at the 5-yard line. Jason Candle's team entering conference play next week on the road. We'll get to schedules as we go along in our broadcast today. From the Glass Bowl, which went a facelift with its turf, and a beautiful one at that. To the end zone we go, so this possession will start for the Bears at their own 25-yard line.
And this is really their first time getting the ball in a situation where they can drive. We've had a few possessions early on backed up into their own end zone. That's not going to do anyone any favors. This is going to be the true test here. How can Kobe move this offense down the field?
Yes, Muasau has completed 5 of 5 passes, but the catch here is just for 20 yards. Bears limited the Rockets to 5 yards rushing in the first quarter. And that changed dramatically with a great field position by way of a punt return and a fumble recovery. Morgan State from its own 25, and from the shotgun, here comes Kobe.
Oh, man.
And nearly picked off.
A miscommunication on that play. 2 receivers in the same area.
Andre Fuller, who missed last year, was in position to get an INT there.
That is a mistake. I don't know who ran the wrong route, but you never want 2 receivers running post. Never a good look. 3 almost ended up with that. Andre Fuller. Thankfully, the Bears get another shot.
This dates me, but back to the Miami Dolphins many years ago, the Marks brothers, under Dan Marino, who used to tell Marino when they got back to the huddle each and every time, I'm open. And he said, how can there be that many guys open on the same play? I have barely enough time to throw the ball.
That's the receiver in you, man. You always want to get a shot. You're always open, right? 7-11.
So I don't think you find any quarrel with that, do you?
Not one bit.
Rockets defense starting to dig in here now. 3rd and 12. Vince Carroll's defensive coordinator, operating from the field position today for Toledo. So far, his team pitching a shutout.
And they're bringing him.
There's Kobe, and he's in trouble. Back around the 14-yard line. He had no chance on the blitz. Kayvon Sherman with the 4th tackle for himself today off the blitz call.
Sherman came right in untouched. And it was just too much for the Bears' offensive line to handle. Both linebackers blitzed on this thing. Kobe had no choice but to go down.
And once again, the poor field position off a punt will put the Bears behind the 8 ball again. The return coming from almost midfield.
Here's Hammer again.
Down the sidelines, and another nice return by Bryson Hammer. They will spot him inside the 40 at the 36. So how about this? The last 3 possessions from the 12 of Morgan State for Toledo, from the 20, and now from the 36.
Talk about field position.
And they are looking for a knockout, or at least a TKO here. Quarterback, the transfer out of Georgia Tech, his previous school, upset Clemson today. 4th straight drive for the record inside Morgan State territory. Tucker Gleason, plenty of time. Man coverage. Throwing the home run ball will be 2nd and 10.
And he tried to take a shot there. That's Eric Holly III, the senior out of Akron. He ran a nice double move here. Nice out and up. Just enough to get the cornerback's eyes in the wrong direction. The ball was just a bit too long.
Yeah, one of the few incompleted passes so far today for Gleason. 2nd down from the 36 of Morgan State. 18-0 Toledo. Gleason again, plenty of time. Now he's flushed. and has to throw in desperation.
And that seam was really wide open there.
Good pressure by Blanche Good. BG, as he's known. Coming in with 5 tackles, 1.5 sacks. So Gold with good pressure there. Brings us to a 3rd and 10. And now a 3-receiver set to the left of quarterback Tucker Gleason. Plenty of time to throw here. Shooting one and caught. Good enough, first down. Javon Brown with a catch. He's had a couple today. Needed to pick up 10. They got 13.
And that's just a great job of knowing the sticks. You're backed up, huge money down. Running right past it. When I say run past the sticks, that's you just have to know you're down in distance. If you're running that yard at 8 yards rather, you're in a bad spot. But Javon Brown getting his def, and that's a first down.
Good point. On a spear from Gleason, another first down catch. And the Rockets right now are in a groove, and he's finding 87 to his liking. And Javon Brown, a freshman.
Yes, sir. Redshirt freshman, making his impact felt early on. Did the same thing there. Again, depth is so important.
8 first downs now for the Rockets, just 2 for the Bears, and back to the ground game, trying to punch in their 3rd touchdown. That's exactly what happens. Kenji Christian, a slasher. They say when he hits a hole, forget about it.
Forget about it is right, and we saw my man Javon Brown in motion here, holding up the defense enough just for Christian to find his way into the end zone. Great start here for the Rockets. It's looking like a knockout right now.
Yes. It was 3-0 end of the quarter. We're less than 6 minutes into the second quarter, and the Rockets are about to add their 3rd touchdown and their 3rd extra point. Gunanan with a kick. Yeah, I suppose we can score this knockout, don't you think? Bears played tough in the first quarter, but now the Rockets are emerging as the heavy favorite. You can get all of ESPN college football all in one place. The all-new ESPN app, unlocked with the ESPN Limited plan or log in with your TV provider. Tucker Gleason now for the game, 11 of 15 throwing, 140 yards. Christian got the touchdown moments ago, and this thing has imploded on the Bears in the second quarter, where the Rockets read 3 touchdowns after leading only 3-0 after 15 minutes.
Yes, and this is the Rockets. This is exactly the start that the Rockets wanted. Tucker Gleason, we didn't think we'd see him today after going down with an injury last week against Western Kentucky. But he's rolling today. That's a fact.
Another touchback. Bears will start from their own 25. Well, you know that Morgan State would be overmatched, so how does the offense find some daylight here in this darkness?
They have to draw something up. They have 2 receivers, and looking at their bunch, Joseph Kennerly Jr., we've yet to call his name today, but he goes by JoJo out there. And Malik Leatherberry is really a weapon on the outside that can catch balls in traffic, can take hits, and that's what they need, guys that aren't afraid to put their bodies on the line, get some first downs, and hopefully get a scoring drive out of this thing.
Kobe's numbers, we mentioned, are modest, and the team is averaging less than 2 yards per play. While the Rockets are up to 6.3, and that play won't help the scoring numbers at this point either. As Randall Naughton had no place to go, he's a freshman behind Jason Collins.
Kavion Sherman was waiting on him. There was nobody there but him. Good morning.
Kavion Sherman's having a game so far, is he not?
He really is.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13. This one could have been picked off.
Very dangerous throw there. Trying Braden Oz there, who got a hand on the ball.
Avery Smith back defending. Now 3rd and 13 as the Bears are desperately looking for something that works and keeps them from punting deeper in their own territory. Have to get the ball up to the 35. Keep the drive alive. Off the blitz again.
Wow.
Karras has thrown the blitz twice, and the blitz has been very effective.
Leave it to the Rockets. During our coaches call, I mean, you asked Coach Candle, what happens? When's a good time to blitz? You know, he said it's a game time decision most.
Jeremiah Peters, 46, came in. Nearly got Kobe to give up the ball. Look where Messenger is punting at again. Hope you'll stay with us at halftime. Terrific feature on Shane Messenger and his disability and how he has overcome it. It's a nice punt away into Toledo territory. And another excellent return. Wow. This could be for 6. Penalty flag on the play. It's going to bring it back likely. Off the return by Bryson Hammer. He's done a nice job on these punt returns, Randy.
You tell me. Hammer has been all over the place. We see some yellow, so I'll wait the call here, but Hammer has been a man on a mission with every punt return.
Bring the return. Holding. And 14 to return team. A 10-yard penalty enforced from the spot of the foul. First down.
Penalties on Andrew Wilson Lamp, who switched numbers today, coming in from 13 to number 14. Well, a well-played first quarter for Damon Wilson's team. The second quarter, just outmanned. And
yeah,
that's not a surprise, by the way.
Not a surprise. He knew that there were some challenges up front for his team, especially up front, just given the size. I mean, he mentioned that this team, of course, he's playing up here in the FBS, but this is probably the best team in the MAC from his estimate. So he knew that this would be a huge challenge.
Yes, and the 5th straight possession starting into Bears territory.
Uh-oh.
Here's Chip. Train him on the carry of the first down. From the 42 to the 25, good for 17.
And check out this hole, wide open. You can drive a truck through it. His name is Chip Trainham. and this gap was really wide open. You give a guy like him a lane, and he's going to use it.
Back to the ground game. And Trainum, just making people miss, carries for another first down. We mentioned that the offensive coordinator for the Rockets is also the head coach, Jason Candle, as we take a look at Trainum's first down run. We asked Jason during the week, do you ever get mad at the offensive coordinator? Which, again, is himself. And he said, oh, yeah, many a time.
Absolutely.
Got to have a thick skin, though, I would think,
oh, yeah.
in this game if you're going to call plays and head up the team overall. But the CEO has done a nice job here, as you know. Never had a losing season. Gleason on the rollout. Pass completed down to the 1, or pretty close to it.
Great ball there by Gleason, waiting for his route to develop. Rudolph there on a crossing route.
This team operates with 2 offensive coordinators and 2 defensive coordinators. Right now from the goal line. Trainum dropped for a loss back at the 6. That doesn't happen very often today.
That was blown up immediately.
E40 Eric Hunter, the captain.
Offside. Defense, number 15.
Maybe that's why
Half the distance to the goal.
they got such quick penetration, huh?
That'll do it. It's a tad bit early. Eric Hunter has really proved himself to be a great player for the Morgan State Bears. Preseason MEAC Defensive Player of the Year. They have high expectations for number 40.
And again, he just played 2 games last year. He was hurt.
Yeah.
So the loss for yardage is negated. Instead, it's a first down from the 1. Trainum in the backfield, Gleason under center. Back to Trainum. As you might expect, touchdown. And the Rockets are starting to pour it on.
Starting to get good to the Rockets right now in this fan base.
Credit their defense and also punt returns and making the most of a turnover for allowing them to start into Bears territory the last 5 times out. In fact, in Morgan State territory, 22 plays now for the Rockets, just 3 for the Bears.
Just great complementary football. Defense getting them the ball early. Special teams putting themselves in position to score quickly. And offense taking care of business. That's really been the name of the game. All 3 phases here for Toledo early on.
Cunanan with yet another extra point. Damon Wilson trying to keep the faith with his team, which now falls behind even a larger deficit as this drive takes just 1:55. And again, the scoring possessions that the Rockets have had in the second quarter have all started with the most golden field position that an offense would like to have.
Yeah, and you never want to set your team up, another team up for success like that. You need a stern talking to here at halftime from Damon Wilson in the game. You talk about these boxing terms. You need a good corner man. You need a good cut man. Let's lick these wounds a little bit. Tell the guys they have what it takes to make a comeback, make a turnaround. Anything can happen. The great Bundini Brown was in Ali's corner. Let's see what Morgan State has on the sidelines.
Where's the name of Freddie Pacheco, the fight doctor? Morgan State's last 3 drives, a minus 24. Line drive kick once again into the end zone. Nicely done. And so the Bears will once again start from their own 25. We mentioned the winningest coach in Toledo history, established that last week. And for his reward, look at his reaction.
That water's cold, huh?
Today he was honored on senior day for a huge ovation by this crowd on a cloudy but very comfortable afternoon in Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah, he's made his presence felt here with the Rockets over his 10 years, and has really built a unit that is just great. He's a winningest coach right now already, and they haven't had a losing season in some time.
His defense is doing some hitting in this game. That's a loss of 2. Back to Jason Candle for a moment. And the fact is, he's had his name up for a lot of positions, not by his own accord, just by press and maybe other coaches, and certainly ADs hoping that he might turn another way. You talk to folks here at Toledo, they think that he was close to an OC job on a couple of occasions, either at Ohio State under Ryan Day or University of Miami, but has stayed in Toledo, put in double-figure years, and the Rockets are a great fit for it. And you know, there's a lot more money out there as a head coach. His money with bonuses, maybe $1.3 million, and he stays here. It reminds me a lot of Mark Few of Gonzaga in basketball, who every year when there are openings, guess whose name pops up? Same thing for Jason Campbell.
Has to be in the conversation. When you're winning like that, why not? He's clearly a leader and is doing something right.
At a cottage over in Michigan, very comfortable here, well cemented in the community. Hats off to him for staying the course. Let's see how many more years he's got left. 3rd and 10. Kobe in trouble again, and he's just got to throw it away.
Flushed out of the pocket with 3 Toledo Rockets in his face.
I'm sure he has seen enough of this Rockets defense. Christy Apollonio with the pressure there. He's one of the captains of the team. He's a sophomore.
Yeah, coaches couldn't say enough good things about his production. And how about that guy right there, Kavion Sherman?
Wow.
9 tackles already, 4 of those for a loss. He's been all over the place. A nightmare.
It's almost
in the
like the
backfield.
12th man on offense, don't you think?
Easily, the way this game has been.
This is poor field position for the Rockets, just the 40.
Right? Backing this thing way up.
Yeah. They'd complain, but who'd listen, right? This time Hammer didn't get a chance to hammer the secondary with a run back, and still the line of scrimmage is solid at the 40. We did ask Jason Candle if this thing does get out of hand today, will he pull Tucker Gleason with the fact he was hurt last week, and they said absolutely.
Yeah, for sure, and he has confidence in his other quarterbacks who could potentially get some run, John Allen Ricker and Caleb Osborne.
Toledo 32 and Morgan State nothing.
Oh, man.
It's a foot race.
Oh, he's gone.
But he may have stepped out of bounds. That's Kenji Christian, who already has a touchdown in this game.
The coaches said he can get loose, and he did just that here on this run. Nothing but green in front of him.
35 yards on the play. This is familiar territory for Toledo, deep into Morgan State country in the second quarter.
And it looks
really
like
a scoreless first, and then all things have blown up for the Bears.
Absolutely, and it looks like we'll see Kenji here take control of this series. He compliments Chip very well.
Gleason throwing maybe for 6. Found a tight end, and Jacob Peterson with a catch. His second of the day.
And this is set up really well just off of a play action. Sucked the linebackers in, and there was Peterson. 5 yards shy of a touchdown.
1st and goal, looking for the touchdown. That one overthrown. Penalty flags on the play. Jane Carter was back defending, threw his arms up to say it wasn't on me.
Pass interference. Defense, number 1.
But you know what, in that instance, nearly almost every instance is on the defense.
Yeah, Jaden Carter, he was picked on last week too. There was a situation where it's a one-on-one matchup that he lost in a jump ball sort of situation, and maybe the nerves got to him. It's why he reaches around and why we have a penalty there. But you got to get out of your own head and rely on your skills just as a DB.
4 penalties now on for Morgan State. First and goal from the 2. Pitch back, Christian. Christian touchdown, second of the day for Kenji Christian.
Number 34, Connor Jones, kicking him out the club here and setting him up for success. Kenji Christian, the easy path to the end zone. Toledo Rockets making it look easy.
This is a 35-point second quarter for Toledo, but not unexpected. Look at the end zone, awaiting what they hope is the 39th point of this game. Well, my guess is we're going to see a lot of Rockets in this game before it's over, and why not?
That's what it looks like, certainly.
So far, most enjoyable afternoon for the home team playing in the Glass Bowl. Name given to the field here in honor of the glass business that has made this city so well known. Biggest crowd ever for a Rockets game goes back to Navy some 20, 25 years ago. They had the Miami Hurricanes in here a few years back.
It's a really cool stadium.
We invite you to stay with us at halftime for a feature on Victory Day. Very special segment put together by ESPN, as well as on Shane Messenger, who has battled ear difficulties from the day he was born. Become a very effective punter. So the Bears will have 2 minutes, 18 seconds to go, and 2 timeouts remaining to try to move the football, which has not happened very much in this game.
Shane Messenger, he doesn't have it on now, but that cowboy hat is present.
We'll get to show that off here at the break, won't we? We're approaching the 2-minute timeout here. One of the newer additions to college football over the last couple of seasons. And with that, we will step aside. All Toledo, all second quarter. Back with the end of the first half in a moment. Comfortable weather day today in Toledo, Ohio for our game between Morgan State and Toledo. At Ross HC in West Lafayette, they had to evacuate because of lightning. Matched up against USC. That game delayed till after 5 Eastern time. Quite a competition for Kobe in the fall with John Griffith and Raymond Moore, and he was able to win out.
Yeah, he had to earn his spot coming into this season.
Looking to throw on first down, and he's gobbled up again. He's going to figure that maybe Toledo's defense is also part of his offense, because this time Ray Jr. gets pressure. He's the backup nose tackle out of Detroit, and he has had no breathing room in this game so far. Timeout call with 1.5 minutes to go. Well, what can you say that hasn't been said about this second quarter by the Toledo Rockets?
Pure dominance, really. And it starts really on defense for this team. The Morgan State Bears have really had no opportunities, aside from a couple drives we saw earlier in this game, to get things going. Stopped early on just from a stout defensive line. And their defenders in the secondary, all 5 of them, like glue on the Morgan State Bear receivers.
See if the Bears can get something going, anything going here toward the end of the second quarter.
Got to take a shot downfield. It's 39-0. Let's get this thing going.
Bears from their own 23, low snap. And the first good hole of the game. And they carry up to the 30-yard line. So maybe with Randall Naughton's carry, maybe a little light here for the Bears.
First game we've seen in some time. Randall Naughton here making a nice cut, taking some contact, bouncing off of an arm tackle for some positive yardage. More runs like that will put him in good shape.
Yes, and Brayton Alls with a tackle. Not enough for the first down, so it is 4th and 5, and the Bears will have to punt again. And for Shane Messenger, now a half a dozen punts in this game. So I'm guessing with the Rockets game all sealed as to whether they're going to win or not, they want to get another possession in and get some backups potentially in. Not pouring it on the Bears, but getting a chance to utilize the remaining 90 seconds of the first half. Messenger has punted for an average of 41. Got this one away to the 32 for Hammer. And he stepped out of bounds.
Hammer's been the difference in this game. Every return we've seen from him has been a good thing for the Rockets, setting themselves up.
And here comes John Allen Richter in the game as the backup quarterback for the Toledo Rockets, relieving Tucker Gleason, who had a terrific first half. And Bryson Hammer's been a lot of fun to watch on these returns, hasn't he?
He really has. John Allen Richter in his first snaps of the game here. I believe he has a really big arm.
Yeah, out of Great Georgia, just outside Macon. And on first down, he looks to throw. And now he'll run. And he'll run out of bounds to the 41, maybe the 42-yard line. Just short of the first down. Nice play by Richter. Forced out of the pocket and made some positive yardage out of it.
Yeah, there are a lot of similarities in how he and Tucker Gleason play the game.
Yes.
Not much of a drop-off. Both can be dual threats and use their legs.
Both are 6'3". Gleason's 245. Richter weighs 233. Empty backfield, shooting for the first down. And as Gleason found Javon Brown to his liking, So does John Allen Richter.
Number 87, Javon Brown on an easy pitch and catch there to get the first. With the cornerback playing so far off, took advantage of it and got a moody change.
Richter now in trouble and brought down for a loss of a yard. Good play in the secondary by the Bears. Nobody was open.
Yeah,
and Toledo will use its last time out.
Yeah, he was looking for Javon Brown there on the crossing route. Wisely decided to pump, but maybe should have gotten rid of the ball because he was sacked shortly after.
So the Rockets with their last time out and 1:07 to go. Mid-American Conference has had a lot of great coaches that have moved on to bigger places. Mike Urinovich heading up Ball State, which was a winner today. How about Eddie George? The Eddie George, by the way, who started at Ohio State in the National Football League, coaching at Bowling Green, got his first win last week. Matt Drinkle, Joe Rizmiak, Mark Carney, and Brian Smith. I remember asking the commissioner a while back, in your notes, you always promote the fact that guys have started in the MAC, moved on to something larger. He said, you know what, we're proud of that.
Yeah.
You know, we don't feel like we're being robbed. It's a great tribute that guys like Nick Saban started here and Urban Meyer. Richter got a man downfield and incomplete.
And a bit more contact than number 9, Trayvon Rudolph, wanted at the top of that route. He was trying to create separation on that post. The corner was really all over him. Richter decided to give him a shot anyway.
Chance for John Allen to perform a 2-minute drill here. Officially down to 1 minute now in the quarter. Needs to pick up 11, got 11. Javon Brown, right place, right time. Again, just a freshman, 6'4", 200 pounds.
And we keep calling his name. That's just a great dig route, double catch on his end, just in case you didn't see it the first time.
Rockets don't have a timeout remaining, and they'll shoot to the sidelines again, and that ball is dropped by Brown to bring a second down. Does stop the clock. Stop the clock with 43 seconds to go. Jason Candle's first game as head coach was actually a bowl game that he won.
A good start.
So he asked, does that qualify as a winning season? I knew the answer, but nonetheless. And he has had winning seasons ever since then. Richter, plenty of time to throw to the sidelines, trying to get out of bounds. Didn't happen. Clock continues to run. Catch by Terrell Crosby.
His first grab of the game. Great comeback route there on the outside.
Now 3rd and 2.
Oh,
Richter to the other side of the field.
he's got a big arm, and he has really all day to make a decision back there. That's what we're seeing. Not too much pressure, which is surprising from the Bears at this point. They are in zone, and they're finding the holes.
Now down to 17 seconds remaining in the quarter. And the Bears will use a timeout. You know, Coach Wilson and his defensive coordinator, Coach Sewell, go back a few years.
They do. You know, much like the Rockets coaches that have been a band of brothers for some time now, you want to create that rapport amongst your group. Not only is it just great to have that camaraderie just as a coaching staff, but the players know what to expect as well. It's from a culture standpoint on up. You guys know what you're bringing every week.
Yeah, I think Band of Brothers is an excellent label. 17 ticks remaining to the end of the first half. Richter And they'll still have time to run at least one play, maybe two. By the way, the 36 points in this quarter for the Rockets is a school record.
Wow.
Rockets again do not have a timeout remaining in the first half. Backfield releases to the end zone, touchdown. So Richter had a chance to get into the flow here, and why not? The way things have been going.
Doesn't get much easier than this. Junior Vandeross, the senior out of Tampa, on the shallow cross, right in front of his face. A flip, and 10s all around.
6 second quarter touchdowns for the Rockets. And now the extra point. So you're Jason Candle. How do you keep focus for your team? You know the game is out of reach. It's already been well decided. So what do you talk about at halftime?
Coach, keep a donut on that scoreboard for the Morgan State Bears. That's what the team is going to be preaching. A lot of teams take pride in having shutouts, and this defense is no different. The offense is going to continue to produce, as you see here. Junior Vandeross III. 2 touchdowns already. He had himself a day last week, and now it's the time where players get more reps. They've had mental reps throughout practice. How about that haircut, Tucker Gleason? Oh my goodness, I was distracted. What is that?
Well, after he got healthy, I guess he had to work on his hair, right?
That's what you call it. Hey, it's working. I ain't mad at you.
Good camera shot, guys. You know, if you're an athlete, you can run, but you can't hide from our cameras. Once again, stay with us for the halftime show featuring Shane Messenger, the flying punter for the Morgan State Bears, and a very special victory day held on campus with the Toledo Rockets and friends. You know, there was a time that Jason Candle, when Coach Campbell, Matt Campbell, left for Iowa State, that they were wondering if Jason Candle would follow him. And as the story goes, Candle actually went to Iowa State and showed up in one of Campbell's first meetings. And the folks here at Toledo said, wait, come back. You're the guy we want. And they named him head coach, and all for the best for Toledo. And Coach Candle here in 10 seasons. First half is over. All Rockets all the time with a mammoth second quarter. 46-0 in favor of University of Toledo. excellent Rockets marching band performing at halftime on Senior Day. Toledo leading 46-0. Welcome back. Jim Barber, Randy Buffington, terrific wide receiver in his day, which you can tell wasn't very long ago. We should mention that in this game, the 6 scoring drives by the Rockets have been done in less than 9 minutes. Almost a 2-minute drill each time out, and the field position really set up by great defense and good punt returns have been the answer for that.
Defense and special teams has been the name of the game for the Rockets early on today. It's been really great complementary football. The offense have taken advantage of every possession that they've had. And looking at both of the running backs, Kenji and Chip, 2 touchdowns from the both. Lots of great things we're seeing out of the Rockets right now.
Well said. Please stay with us. A couple of excellent features coming up on Morgan State and on the Toledo Rockets. You'll enjoy it when you return to ESPN Plus. Welcome back. Morgan State punter Shane Messenger wears a cowboy hat as part of his ritual for good luck before each and every game. Now, the cowboy hat is just the surface of his story. Shane was born with hearing loss in both ears. Through sheer determination, he's earned a spot on a D1 roster. Learn to adapt and communicate with his teammates and his coaches. And Randy competed at the highest level of collegiate sports.
And Shane's story is really what this thing is all about. How cool is this? First off, look at this hero shot. Him in his cowboy hat. It is not his first rodeo. As you guys can tell, he's been doing the thing for the Morgan State Bears for a while now. Just a junior right now, but he has shown his growth with this team on special teams, booting this thing into the end zone. Each time he's up to bat. What a great story we're here with Shane.
Now, you mentioned perseverance and inclusion. That's the same spirit celebrated each year with the Rockets hosting Victory Day. That's an event that gives young people special needs their own moment in the sun. Welcome back. Well, for a quarter, we had a football game in which the Bears held the Rockets to just 3 points, and their defense was very stalwart at that point.
It really was, and it started with the Bears having some strong defensive stops, go there on a tackle. And this is where things got a little tricky for the Bears. Thanks to Hammer on the receiving end of this punt, he has been all over the place. Every touch he's had, it's been dangerous for him, setting his team up for some great drives. We see Vander Ross there on the easy touchdown. Chip Trainum, who has 2 on the day. Kenji Christian piling it on here for the Rockets.
Yes, it turns out Trainum, Christian, and Vander Ross all have 2 touchdowns apiece. 19-2 in first downs. Total yards are 334 for Toledo, just 24 for Morgan State. The third down conversions have been effective, and the Rockets defense, which is pitching a shutout, has also shut out the Bears on third down. So when we get to the third quarter, we're going to see a lot of players on both sides, mostly the Rockets. We hope you'll stick around for this Mid-American Conference game here on ESPN Plus. Back to business here. The Toledo Rockets with 7 first-place votes are the odds-on favorite to win the championship at Ford Field in Detroit, just outside of Christmas. Miami 2nd, Ohio 3rd, and Buffalo 4th. Last year, very well in competition, winning 5 of 7 bowl games. In fact, Mid-American Conference compared to every other conference actually finished 2nd behind the American Conference. MAC was 2nd, Big Ten 3rd, SEC 4th. I don't know about you, but I always thought the MAC was better than the Big Ten and SEC anyway. Not surprised.
Who doesn't think that?
Well, the Frats are well represented today. It's a senior day here on the campus and football field of the Glass Bowl. Good to have you with us. Colors about to change here. Officially, we're still part of summer, but that will move in just a matter of days to the fall. Summer-like temperatures for most of the Midwest this summer. And the Rockets, nicely colored in their gold and blue uniforms, set to go to work. So you think that Jason Candle be able to keep them focused for the second half?
They have to keep the momentum going, and these guys have been chomping at the bit. The 2 deep will probably not see the field majority of this second half, so we'll see some younger guys and some guys that get to get some opportunities, get some shine out there today, and hopefully they can take advantage of these reps.
Bears in the white uniforms with the round numerals will receive to start the second half. This had a 3:30 in the afternoon start as Malik Leatherberry, Tojo back to catch, he hopes. Although so far the leg of Robert Hammond has resulted in nothing but touchbacks. Always a great weapon to have when you can start your team back, the other team back in the 25 with 0 return. Well, a number of people have left the stadium. Could have enjoyed dinner somewhere, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah, it's dinner time. They're ringing the bell here. They saw the scoreboard, and unless Morgan State can make this thing interesting, I'll start with the salad.
Moms and dads sticking around today, family members on senior day, why not? Get a chance to see everybody play, probably on both ends. And for Morgan State, our first look at John Griffith. Actually, Griffith may have played in the first half. I stand corrected for a play or two, and then Kobe returned. Kobe Muasaw. John is 6'2", 210 pounds. Slightly bigger, slightly larger than Kobe.
And a hometown guy.
In the quarterback position.
And a hometown guy out of Maryland. Let's see how he calls the shots.
After the catch, penalty flag on the play. Bears were penalized 4 times in the first half, Toledo 3. Billy Williams is our referee today. It's an all Mid-American Conference team as officiating.
First half.
And after the conference with the center judge,
may stay in the game due to the foul occurring with a helmet.
On Anthony Romano. Anthony Romano assisting on the call. And with the penalty, the football is going to be moved up to the 38-yard line. So we talked about what Jason may have talked about first half. What about Damon's conversation with his guys?
Yeah, he really has to rally this group and, you know, do not sulk and put your head down. We still got a lot of ball game left.
I take it you've never been in this kind of position, have you?
Listen, man, football is a game where you can end up on either side, and I've had my fair share of highs and lows, we'll say.
I don't think you answered my question, but I get the idea.
Politically correct answer?
Kind of danced around a little bit, I understand.
Yeah, a little shifty. But nah, man.
Just as you were as a pass catcher, right?
Right.
Oh, ball loose. Bears are going to be able to recover back at the 32. Pretty good stick, though. And Randall Naughton able to get on it at the last moment. His defense for Toledo has played hard today.
And that's a shot, man. He came up laying some wood. That's number 20, Langston Long. 20 on 20. And thankfully, Naughton was able to jump on that ball, because if not, Toledo might have had a touchdown going the other way.
Yeah, Long, 6'3", 225. Quite a stick from his inside linebacker position. Going to go under the hood, though, to check replay in this.
Oh, there's no mistake there. They just wanted to take a good look at the head like you guys are.
So at that point, are you questioning if it's a hit to the head? Is that why they're reviewing, in your opinion? Okay, so targeting is under consideration. Our replay officials, Harold Betty, communicator Gary Bram, so they go to work here. That's the criteria for targeting, by the way. And ever since targeting has been an emphasis in the college football game, they've been able to cut down on the seriousness of the number of violations, but still occurs. It's football. And if targeting is reviewed, it will be a departure and also a missing on the first half of the next game for Toledo's defender. It's Langston Long, I think, with the stick.
Yep, that was him.
So his future in this game is being sought out by replay right now.
There is no foul for targeting. It's third down.
This goes as a good hit.
Just some good football from the Will linebacker, Langston Long, coming in on fire, blowing up the play, knocking that ball loose.
The backup linebacker, too. Kayvon Sherman had the super first half from his inside linebacker position, starting position. Now 3rd and 15. Bears, little pass out of the backfield. A couple of missed tackles, back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down.
Not a lot of movement there for the Bears. We're seeing some different personnel here on both sides.
Don't you like that first half, or the first half feature by Shane Messenger?
Yeah, man, Shane, what a cool story here. Partial hearing loss in both ears, but is still able to send them back and set his defense up for success by pinning teams deep.
Julian Allen with a catch and a slight return. Talked about the MAC in the preseason, favoring the Rockets, the odds-on favorite. In the MEAC, Morgan State stands strong as the 3rd best team behind South Carolina State and North Carolina Central. Norfolk State 4th, Howard 5th, Delaware State 6th. Morgan State will be in Indianapolis for the Circle City Classic in my hometown in a couple of weeks. That game is played at Lucas Oil Field, the home of the Indianapolis Colts.
He's tackled by number 7, Lance Gold.
So running back Shaw getting a chance here. It's kind of a fun time for Toledo, and certainly for guys who don't ordinarily get a ton of playing time. Show off their wares. Richter with a throw. And a catch, and a first down reception at the 42-yard line.
And I tell you, he had a lot of options here. He made the safe choice with the long throw over to the outside, but check these seams, guys, because they're going to be wide open. That's what it's looking like right now.
That catch was by Cooper Rusk for the first down. And now back-to-back first downs. Passes from John Richter as Julian Allen makes the catch.
Good hands out of the backfield there. They got some pep in their step right now.
Yes. Well, the cliche is play this game as if it's nothing to nothing. Come on, you can't fool players. But backups, behooves them to play it like that. Richter to the throw. Ball caught, tackle made. Right up next to the first down marker at the 36.
Terrell Crosby Jr. with the grab there. Nice, easy curl.
At one point in this game, Tucker Gleason had thrown to 5 different receivers. He has long gone, replaced by John Allen Richter. And we may see even other people on the offense in this game. Man coverage outside. Incomplete.
Man, that would have been a spectacular grab. He was able to get one hand free, but we saw... Oh, I thought I saw a flag for a second.
Hiroshi Carr was back receiving on Cooper Rusk on that play.
Yeah, some contact as they went downfield with it.
What do you think?
Nah, good no call. Good no call. Good no call. That's great defense there. But 23 Carr breaking that thing up.
It's very objective for you as a wide receiver to not rule pass interference on the defense. I was proud. Huge hole. Willie Shaw III from Chicago, a senior. Spotlighted before the game along with his other senior compatriots. Gets 20.
Shaw getting some love here. Big old gap. He's giving the defense a little something. Take that with you. I got some more yards to run.
Sure. Shaw was in the backfield. Now is a wide receiver to the right of Richter, is looking for the end zone.
And that is our guy Hammer, who's been all over the field with these punt returns thus far. A Fremont Ross product, which isn't too far from here in Toledo.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, Hamner looked terrific on punt returns in the first half for Jason Candle's team. That one is close to the end zone. Ball extended near the pylon, recovered by Toledo at the 1-yard line, I believe. Or was it? Yep, first down.
Great run from Shaw here.
I thought Carr maybe had his hands on the ball, but he was down there. Ball hits the ground, and it's eventually ruled as a
touchdown saving tackle.
Yeah, they're going to review this, by the way. We'll come back with a verdict in a moment from the Glass Bowl in Toledo. Koshi Carr was on the floor of the glass bowl when we went to break. So it does not appear there was a review, but rather the potential of an injured player. This is Carr with the defense here. If there was a review, ball was ruled down after it was spiked more or less by Willie Shaw near the goal line.
Yeah, it was a close call. His cleat went out of bounds, and
so
first
down
down
and goal for
nonetheless.
the Rockets. Yep. Willie Shaw in the backfield, and as he gets the handoff from his quarterback, he is near the end zone, about a yard short. Second and goal. Under 9 minutes remaining, third quarter. Another opportunity for the backups to get a score. Willie Shaw made one man miss and drives those legs forward, but he will be short by a couple of yards.
Lots of gang tackling here from the Morgan State Bears.
Goal line stand here.
Let's take a look at this thing. Shaw was blown up right away. 7. That end getting his hands on him early. Here's the rest of the group.
And now we have third and goal. And the Bears make another defensive stand.
Oh, yeah.
Touchdown. Easy pitch, easy catch. C.C. Isram with the catch. And Toledo has gone over the half-century mark.
C.C. Esram. He's made a few lists with the Athletic as a freak of nature. He's a big dude out there, man.
Yeah.
And he didn't have to do much. Right into the end zone on that one.
Well
Flat
designed
was
play.
uncovered.
They're expecting Shaw to get the ball, and Esram flared out, made the catch, and now 52 points on the board. Halfway through the third quarter. Good chance for everybody to shine in this game. Dylan Cunanan with yet another extra point. He's been perfect. Rockets' all-time scoring record is 88 points, set back in the day, a long time ago. They've got 53 in this one, and don't try this at home. These people are professionals. Latest scoring drive, 11 plays, 74 yards, 4.5 minutes.
That'll wake you up right there.
Good thing it's still summer, right?
Oh, yeah, man. Give it a couple more weeks.
Mm-hmm. Saw a picture earlier. Leaves starting to make a change. Beautiful part of the country, the Midwest.
Anthony Ruggles kicking off for the Rockets.
Malik Leatherbury has been busy today. Anthony Ruggles gets a chance to show his leg off in the first kick of the game. And just like his predecessor, to the end zone.
Ruggles sails into the end zone for a touchback. It'll be first and 10, Morgan State from the 25-yard line.
Kind of nice to make your first appearance. Make sure the kick is not returned. Everybody hits you on the helmet.
Not a bad way to start it.
No, sir. So the Bears back on offense, still hoping to mount a drive to get their first points. John Griffith set to go to work. Your center from Daniel Casillas. The pass incomplete. By the way, Casillas, the center, is a pretty good piano and guitar player, too. A lot of these guys have.
Yes, lots of multi-talented athletes on this side here for Morgan State. Dual sport athletes, too. They really are talented.
6'2", 315 pounds. Halfway through the third quarter. There's a lot of pride on the line now for the Rockets' backups to try to maintain the shutout. And for the Bears, their goal, try to get something offensively they can jump on the bus and the plane and feel good about.
Bring up third down. Come on, Team Toledo, make some noise.
Third and 4. And now 4th and 3, and once again Morgan State has to give up the football.
Yeah, not even a chance there. Number 99
Trevion Ford.
coming through and breaking that thing up early. First team, 2 deep. Backups, everybody is on one accord here for the Rockets.
Once again, Shane Messenger. And fair catch called for just inside the 35-yard line. Major overhaul within the last few months, actually March of this year for the turf. Cost a fair amount of money, and it was completed in less than 30 days.
How about that renovation? I always love to see new turf out there, man. As a player, period, it just gives you something to get excited about going into the game, going into the season.
What was your favorite turf to play on?
You know, I preferred the bouncy stuff. We actually had a few changes to our turf over the years through college for me.
Really? Rockets with their third quarterback in the game, Caleb Osborne, number 7. And so Caleb carries the football and picks up 6.
And Coach Kendall mentioned we'd see him if things went right. Here are his first snaps of the game.
Big throw for Caleb, I'm sure. That pass is completed nearly behind the line of scrimmage. Official mark will be the 37. And clock continues to run. Maybe not quick enough for Morgan State, but they'll be back to competition. It'll be more along its level next week. Morgan State will face Central State in an afternoon game at home at high noon, while Toledo plays Western Michigan.
Oh,
Ball loose. Penalty flag on the play as well.
and that's just a heads-up play. Defender getting his hand on the ball, punching it out.
And the Bears appear to have recovered. But there is a flag on the play back around the 30-yard line.
Totally declined. Result of the play. First down.
First turnover of the game for the Rockets. Great field position for the Bears when they come back with 5:11 to go in quarter number 3. First time Morgan State has been past midfield since 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Let's see if they can punch one in here. John Griffith at the controls and rolling out. And a pass broken up. Going to go as an incompleted pass as he was chased to the sidelines.
He absolutely was. He really had nowhere to go here. Great pursuit.
Yeah, Isaac Zay was right in the neighborhood, and he wasn't the only one, in fact. Dylan Holler, who lines up in the safety spot, 39, was right there as well. Goes into an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10. And that one broken up line of scrimmage, I believe. Yep, incompleted pass, third down.
And Coach Jason Candle's approach going into this game was to not take this team lightly at all, as we're seeing. He knew that Morgan State could potentially be a threat. Last year, they nearly beat Ohio, he said. And mentioned that, you know, there could be an argument made that they played better than Ohio than we did.
Bears were 0 for 7 in the first half on third down. Blitz coming. And incomplete. Would have been a touchdown.
That hurts your feelings right there, man. A lot of running room for Bodie Jr. here. This seam was wide open. The safety was stuck there in the middle. And he just couldn't bring it in.
Well, that's tough when you get a chance to play. You want to be able to convert. Instead, the Bears will try to pin Toledo back deep. And it's always nice when players go around a guy who's had a rough moment and say, you know, don't worry about it. Trying to keep this one in play. And it reaches the end zone. That's the 10th punt of the game by Morgan State. 10.
That's rough, man, because that was really the best look all day in terms of getting points on the board. Wide open play. They got the coverage that they ran the right route. Just couldn't bring it all together.
Yep. So despite the turnover by the Rockets, they don't yield any points. The Rockets were held to 5 yards in the first quarter. As you watch Mike Drennan the second carry the ball. And since then, they've been virtually unstoppable.
The junior out of Hilltop with a nice run here. Taking out there to stable the backs with another physical run.
Got a great chance to empty the bench here, don't you?
Absolutely.
Lots of good playing time available on the quarterback keep.
Oh, wow.
Penalty flag on the play may bring this back. Caleb Osborne, the freshman out of Pontiac, Michigan, with a first down carry. Let's see if it stays or is returned. And more often than not, this play comes back. The run was good for 32 yards. Just won't hold up. Did you ever commit a penalty on a play of substance?
Yes. Yes, I have, and there's nothing to do but...
Do you want to hide?
It's a big stadium to hide in, man. You can't put your head down. Everybody sees you. Put your head back up and try to ball out the next play.
And now, over the last several years, they identify the player, so that makes it a little harder, I think, to hide. Ooh, good stick by the Bears. And a second effort brings the football up to the 43.
Yeah, a really big hit here by number 95 of the Bears. That's Chance Pickard, defensive lineman, or 16 rather. Big hit, but he did more damage to himself. He went airborne and didn't wrap up at all.
Yeah, Mike Drennan's a tough kid, isn't he? Carrying the football there. Quarterback will keep. Quarterback will run for the first down. Caleb still with the ball, makes another man miss. And carries the football close to the 42-yard line. Mr. Osborne showing some of his moves there.
There he is. He's feeling good running that football. Dual threat quarterback. Doesn't like what he sees. Switches the ball.
That was good for 17. We're deep into the third quarter. The Rockets having salted this game away in the second, playing the backups here in the third, and hoping to move the football again. Osborne back to pass to the sidelines.
It's a catch there for Hammer.
You like Hammer, don't you?
I do, man. He's doing his thing out here. He's made plays on special teams, and that's how you earn. That's how you earn time.
Head coach Jason Candle never had a losing season here with the Toledo Rockets. Name coming up quite often when there's a vacancy in college football coaching. And again, to his credit, he has remained in Toledo.
Decided to stick around with a group that's had some tenure here for a while. We'll get into it a bit later, but the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, head coach all played at the same college, Mount Union, a powerhouse here in Ohio, Division III football. And they've taken the things that the Raiders taught them over the years and took them to the Rockets.
When time permits, we should show a little Jason Candle back in the day at Mount Union. What do you think?
We got to.
Mm-hmm. It's not black and white footage. It's not that long ago. This backup unit for the Rockets is moving the ball nicely, as Willie Shaw III carries to the 21. And we're down to a minute in the third quarter.
Yeah, the same sort of build out of this running back room. 5'11" across the board, in the 5'11" 2 something.
Running
they pack
downhill.
a punch, yeah.
And using some clock while they're at it. Little RPO action to Hammer. Still going. Takes a couple of people to bring him down. First and goal from the 8-yard line.
It's a good throw here by Caleb. A little bit of trickery here to get this secondary guessing.
And this likely will be the final play of the third quarter. So it'll be first and goal for the Rockets when the fourth quarter begins. Leo set to rack up another win on this young season. Jason Candle's not only having a good college career as a head coach, he had a terrific career as a player at Mount Union.
There he is getting loose at receiver.
Yeah, he had some speed back then, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He had some teammates, too, that are part of this staff. Mike Hallett.
Mike Hallett.
Actually, Hallett played a few years earlier than that. Ross Watson.
Yep.
Also part of the coaching staff. Under the Karras gang. Vince now the defensive coordinator here. And the Karras coaching staff, which led the Mount Union football team to 109 wins in 110 games and several national championships. Shaw trying to bounce outside. What's amazing about that, Mark, is we have an injured Morgan State player, is this 8-year run, which lasted from 96 to 03, the only thing that Jason Candle remembers was the loss.
Yeah, man, that's what happens when you have such a great unit. These guys have seen a lot of success with the Mount Union Raiders over the years. It's really a dynasty. There's no other word for it.
And Mike Hallett up in the booth right now, the co-offensive coordinator, as the Bears have an injured player being attended to at the 10-yard line.
And I asked Coach Candle during our coaches' meetings earlier this week whether coaching was in his sights even then. And, you know, both him and Mike Hallett, as you see down here on the field, and some of these other guys took education very seriously. And they said playing at the D3 level, you know, you come to find out that the Cowboys are not as interested in them as you are playing for America's team, right? So you have to make some decisions. And they decided to coach, and it's been a big part of their lives.
When we think about the Karras family, the two brothers who coached and served as athletic director and put together this dynasty at Mount Union. I had a playoff game there several years ago. I was relaying to you and our staff during our coaches meeting in which Mount Union, it's a playoff game, was up 70-0. And you walk out of stadium and goes, how is that possible? But that's how good Mount Union was. And Jason Candle, of course, took a few things with him. And that has applied here to Toledo. Second and goals, we start the fourth quarter. Willie Shaw's getting plenty of touches here today.
Yeah, Shaw has to feel good about his performance here since the third quarter. A lot of physical runners here with this group.
And Toledo effectively using time off the clock, almost like a running clock here in the second half. And why not? Game's been out of sight since midway the second quarter.
Yeah, we've lost our scorecards a long time ago.
Yes, I think we ruled it a knockout. It's fun while it lasted when it was just 3-0 in the second quarter. Good pressure, and now run to the end zone, no problem. Touchdown. Caleb Osborne saw some open space and made the most out of it.
Fans getting excited there for Caleb Osborne. His first touchdown of the season. Pocket collapsed, and he found Green. Easy one for Caleb Osborne.
Good drive, 6 carries, 44 yards for him. Passing 3 of 3 for 17. And then the touch. Point number 60 on the game for Toledo. Pretty good blocking up front, and suddenly the sea was parted. Friday Night Lights bright in the Glass Bowl, playing host to several local high schools during the football season. Last night it was St. Francis against Clyde. What a great opportunity for some kids who want to play D1 ball.
Oh, that grab was
Yeah,
nice.
beautiful catch. To play on a field that perhaps this is where their future is. St. Francis wins the game 33-3.
It's right down the road here. You can see this. You can see where they play from here at the Glass Bowl.
Well, the only question that remains is, will the Bears get a chance to hit the end zone?
That is the question.
And you know the Rockets will play this as hard as they can defensively to keep the 0 on the board. Each team has used multiple quarterbacks in this game. Toledo has a total offense of 501 yards. And of the 69 plays they have run today, 45 have been in Morgan State or plus territory.
And that's the story of the game, field position on both sides.
Yes. Bears haven't had it. The Rockets have had plenty of it. Jim Barber and Randy Buffington here in the fourth quarter of play. Next week for the team that is picked to win the championship of the MAC, the Rockets will be at Western Michigan. They held Senior Day today, and the reason for that is Senior Day would ordinarily line up somewhere in November. Those games can be played at night if you're scheduled for that. Projected to be one of the favorites. You usually get a primetime spot. Not necessarily a big drawing card because it's middle of the week and it's November, so they hold Senior Day a little earlier in the year. When it's nice and, well, not sunny, but, you know, nice.
Good day to bring the parents out.
Absolutely. Right now, Raymond Moore III, out of hometown Baltimore, redshirt freshman, is the quarterback. And that play, Dejon Dennis was the ball carrier out of Waycross, Georgia. Move the chains. So let's see what Mr. Moore can do. Good looking kid, 6'4", 180. Later tonight at the Shoe in Columbus, Ohio for the MAC will play Ohio State. Western Michigan for the MAC is at Illinois. Bucks ranked number 1 in the country. Illinois ranked number 9. Earlier today, it looked like Kent State was going to stop its long FBS ruling losing streak, and Buffalo scored late to win that game. Kent State had a 14-0 jump in the game at one point. Cardinals of Ball State had a wild start to their game, 14 points apiece. And they went on to beat New Hampshire 34-29. Mike Urinovich, the new head coach of the Cardinals. Mike New has moved on from Ball State to University of Illinois. Kind of an offensive second voice, if you will.
Yeah. Money down coming up for the Bears. See if they can get this thing past the 50 for the 9th time this game.
Moore will keep. And Moore is brought down just short of the first down, and a pretty good stick by the corner, Tyler McKinstry.
Love to see a corner coming up making his hit. Not afraid of some contact.
It is 4th and a yard, but it appears Morgan State will punt again. A little surprised.
You know, a bit surprised. Yeah, you want to leave it all out on the field, and why not take shots? Just throw some, let's run some routes. You see a lot of quarterback design runs and runs in general.
Morgan State's going to take a timeout. I wonder if they're going to change their mind here.
It's 30 seconds and left.
You know, Messenger and Hammer should be on a first-name basis today. He's had 10 punts, and Hammer's fielded about every one of them.
Yeah, buddy. Messenger has been busy today.
10-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Let's see if Coach Wilson thinks a little differently about the decision to punt. Next week, Mid-American Conference. They'll be busy starting at noon. Beautiful part of the country, Oxford, Ohio. Vegas will come calling under new management. Central Michigan at home after losing to Michigan and Rice Underwood today. Later in the afternoon, the Bulls, after a big win today, will be home to Troy. Eastern Michigan, Raging Cajuns at the Factory. Toledo at Western Michigan. No change of mind here. Messenger will get rid of the punt. That's his 11th of the game, and Hammer makes the catch beyond the 20-yard line. The all-new ESPN is here. For the best experience, all you need to do is follow these 3 simple steps.
First, you'll need the ESPN app on your connected TV or favorite device. If you have it, open it up. If you don't, download it now. Next, click on the live event or ESPN show you want to watch. Then choose your TV provider and log in. You're all set. It's all of ESPN, all in one place. Go to support.espn.com to learn more.
When play resumes, we start up with 10 minutes to go in the football game. Rockets have the ball just beyond their own 20. Another quarterback keep. Caleb Osborne already has a scoring touchdown in this game.
Out of Pontiac, Michigan. Looks good running the football.
Yes, he does. Fair amount of talent has come from there, certainly. Most of the stadium has emptied out. Guess if this game was an election, we could have projected a winner A little earlier in the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah, buddy. We had our thoughts going into this game where Morgan State had the potential to keep this thing close. They had weapons on the outside. It just couldn't get things going as they would have hoped. Candle and company did not take this team lightly, as you can see by the score. Damon Wilson has had better days.
Yeah. And they will as they get back to the MEAC. Again, picked to finish third in their conference.
Good coverage there, about 12.
It was intended for 14, Braceful.
Jaden Jackson, the freshman out of California, forcing a fourth down and a punt.
So this hasn't happened very often today. But a punting situation for the Rockets. Just the third time. They delay a game against Toledo. You'll hear coaches say as you take us to a punt right here with 8:56 to go that this is a learning situation, particularly for a team that's in that big of a hole. And so let's see what the Bears can pick up in the remaining 9 minutes here. Morgan State's got great history. Dates back 126 years. They had a streak of their own like Mount Union, 54 games without a loss, and were the champions of the CIAA almost 100 years ago, 1933.
How about that? They had a hot start. The first HBCU invited to the Tangerine Bowl
Yes,
here
that was a big deal.
1966.
Remember Willie Lanier, how good he was?
Yeah, it's been
Made it to
11.
Canton, about 2.5 hours away, the Hall of Fame.
Really cool to see here. A lot of history there with this team. Willie Lanier, 11 seasons.
Super Bowl IV. And Damon Wilson, he knows his history with Morgan State quite well. Pleasure to chat with him earlier in the week, along with the rest of the coaching staff.
Oh, absolutely. They're a fun bunch. That's for sure.
You know, he and Coach Sewell were teasing each other about good plays, bad plays. Who belong to what? Head coach always takes the high road, doesn't he? Don't they? Bears on a 2nd and 10. And despite a lopsided loss, hope they get back, get themselves set for conference play and do well in a league where they're picked to finish rather high.
Yeah, they're picked third to finish out the season here in the preseason poll. They went 6-6 last year. Lost a very close game to Towson last week, 27-22, in the battle for Greater Baltimore.
Yeah, game they thought they should have won. In fact, there were a lot of red zone errors on the part of Morgan State in that game. This is a 3rd and 6. Toledo showing blitz. And did somebody from Toledo jump, or were they drawn offsides?
Defense, number 46, causing the off.
So 3rd and 6 becomes 3rd and 1.
Hold your water, son.
Jeremiah Peters is the outside linebacker. Drawn across. Clock continues to move. 7:20 remains. Need to pick up a yard. Didn't happen. The spot will be just short, maybe less than a yard. Yes, Harris continues to carry the load offensively for the Bears. Gators up there, Hackenbrack as well.
All credit
Bears
to the
again will
defensive
give up the
line.
ball.
All credit to the defensive line there, stopping that up front. Nowhere for him to go when the linebackers came down and muddy up the middle a bit more. Stop Harris for a gain.
One of the things that Jason Candle told us that was interesting about the focus that he learned from Mount Union is that the importance, obviously, of the games, but the idea is, what do you do in the other 350 days to get ready for the games? The point of emphasis effective here at Toledo. Good look at Rockets band, still performing strongly in the waning moments of this game. Randy Buffington, Jim Barber. Toledo has had 15 consecutive winning seasons, just shy of Alabama's mark, and Boise State at the head of all of them.
This stat is insane.
Yeah.
They are outpacing Ohio State, Clemson, and Georgia.
What's interesting about it, too, is the fact that as a school of this magnitude, typically they're invited to play a Power 4 team, come in, get a nice paycheck, and then take a whooping. So that affects a non-conference record.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that Jason Candle thought they should have beaten Kentucky start the season, lost by 8, 24-16.
Easily. That was a good team they played, and they play up often and expect to win those games.
Mm-hmm. What was it, some of the coaches with the Bears thought this is a program on the threshold of a Power 4?
Yeah,
Wow.
That's exactly those were their sentiments going into this game. Definitely the best MAC school, and with weapons like we talked about, Chip Traynham, who has seen some action at the Ohio States of the world, the Arizona States. These are guys that can play ball.
Dane Nauman getting the chance to show his stuff. He's a freshman out of Marengo, Ohio. Well, no secret what the Rockets are going to do now, which is put the ball in the hands of the running backs or quarterback keep that clock going, and finish things up rather healthy, they hope.
Yeah, good day across the board for the Rockets. They have to walk out of this game with their head up high, and this is the sort of game that you want for your fans. Just a high morale game. Give the fans something to be happy about. A lot of your guys are playing, getting time. Senior day. What's there not to like?
Yeah. Best foot forward at a time where you want it to be like that. Another first down carry for Dane Norman. Listed as 6 feet, 230 pounds, is a redshirt freshman. The Bears with wholesale substitutes right now, as they're getting a chance to play a lot of people too.
Oh yeah, big time. Getting a lot of love on the sideline there too. Love to see it.
That's a joy, isn't it? Been a relatively clean game. I mean, there have been penalties on both sides, but very little here in the second half. Most penalties have not been of any significance. Lucas LaRoche getting his name in the scorecard moments ago as we head to 3 minutes for the game.
Dominant the ball carrier. Tackled by Virginia Lance. Get him 2 yards on the play.
Here's third down from the 30 of Morgan State. Contact at the 25. It was an incompleted pass. Good defense there by 31 Julian Knoll.
Yeah, made a great play on the ball there, stopping that slant. A one-on-one matchup down there. A little bit of contact before the ball made its approach.
Intended for Andrew Wilson Lamp. They'll go for it on 4th and 5. Receivers release, more contact.
And there they go with the flag
and a
now.
penalty flag, and that'll be pass interference against the Bears, I believe. Although Coach Wilson's out on the field saying, wait a minute. I thought maybe defender and receiver just got tangled up, but that doesn't matter.
Pass defense. Number. The ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
Yeah, let's take another look at this here. It looks like he was tripped up as he started getting into his route. There wasn't much there. I mean, honestly, it's just a trip, a simple trip. Definitely wasn't malicious.
Nope. That's not enough to convince an official, though, is it?
Lucas LaRoche, the ball carrier. Tripped up by number 94, Jonathan Moyer.
2 minutes to go. and I billed this game as a Douglas versus Tyson rematch. And there you have it.
Yeah, man. Look at this bobbing and weaving we seeing right now. It's the best fight I done seen all day.
I think the parents will intervene here shortly. Extra Yard for Teachers Week, an annual back-to-school effort led by the College Football Playoff Foundation, brings college sports together to recognize and show appreciation to great teachers across the country. To support Extra Yard for Teachers recognition and resources initiatives, please scan the QR code for more. How would you score that that round there?
Oh, man, that was a good one, man. It's 10-9 in somebody's favor. Figure out who the older brother is.
That was great.
Getting after it, man. Look at the bobbing and weaving. Give it to my man on the left right now. I like the way he's moving.
No rope-a-dope over there, huh? Final 90 seconds. Rockets using as much clock as they can, which is always a nice gesture when you're ahead by a ton in a game. This game been played in a little more than 3 hours and 10 minutes this afternoon. Started at 3:35 Eastern Time. Set to wrap up a little past 6:45. Rockets, like most teams, practice during the morning. Have since Jason Candle took over the job. Toledo will use a timeout with 28 seconds to go. Here's the next 5 for the Rockets. They're all league games minus Washington State. Starts at a matchup in Kalamazoo next Saturday afternoon against Western Michigan, and Akron at home against Bowling Green and versus Kent State. Washington State got pounded today by North Texas State.
The Rockets, of course, think that these are a ton of winnable games. Walking out of this thing on top, looking really good by late October.
Again, they are the odds-on favorite to win the leagues with 7 first-place votes out of a possible 13. Fourth down with a half minute to go. Lucas LaRoche carries on that play. Well, there'll be no Gatorade bath this time for Jason Candle. I'm sure he's appreciative of that. Morgan State, we mentioned, will be at home next week against Central State. Then Miles College at Georgetown, Virginia Lynchburg, and at Howard on October 25.
Yeah, they'll have to bounce back from this. They will. They knew going into this game it'll probably be the best opponent they'd see all season. The Toledo Rockets proved themselves to be just that, but the Morgan State Bears will take a lot away on film. We're able to rally together some decent drives and have a lot to take away when they go back down to the MEAC.
Yes, sir. And that might do it. In fact, that will do it.
Good day for that man right there.
Yes, sir. Nothing game in the second quarter, and then the more dominant team dominated.
Absolutely. The Toledo Rockets did not let up one bit. We thought this thing was going to be a fight. It ended up being a knockout, a decisive one early on for the Rockets. It just took 2 quarters to do it in a very explosive second quarter out of the Rockets. It wasn't much of a fight, but maybe Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford can make up for that tonight for you fight fans.
Well, buddy, it was a pleasure.
Absolutely, my man.
For Randy Buffington, Jim Barber, so long from the Glass Bowl in Toledo. Final score 60-0 Toledo. And a reminder, all games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. So long from Toledo, Ohio.